Get this one from me.
I'm going to start calling him Houdini if he keeps this up. But a great spare there.
With his dad's nickname of Fresh, we'll have Fresh and Houdini. They can go out on tour, huh?
I was teasing his dad earlier today. I was calling him Dougie Jr. out here. This kid certainly has a great future ahead of him.
Definitely has a smooth approach. All of his mechanics in line. Easy to repeat shot after shot.
Absolutely, and what's funny by watching him is he's almost a mirror image of his father in his younger years. Arm swing, push away, and even the way he looks and the way he talks and everything. I tell you, if he can get that, well, I'll tell you what, he's got a lot of titles ahead of him on the tour.
Leaves a 2-10 split in the 8th frame.
And we've seen him make this once. Let's see if he can do it again. This is a very important shot.
Just picks off one, leaves him with an open in the 8th and a score of 133, where Tyler Vocks has a 74 in the 5th and a double working in the 6th and 7th.
Very interesting what we've seen. This is the second game now where we've seen somebody start with a double and then struggle just to get a strike after that. And whether that's just settling in and almost relaxing too much, or that's a little bit of change in the lanes, or maybe the pressure adding up a little bit. That remains to be seen.
Tyler's favorite bowling story is traveling to Europe to bowl for people-to-people sports ambassadors at the age of 12. Wow.
What a fantastic program that is.
If there were any nerves on that shot, you couldn't tell, because that was the best shot of the match.
Not at all. It was a great shot. Great shot. And fortunate to knock that 9-pin out, unlike Jacob did in that shot on the left lane.
Leaves him with a 3-bagger. He's starting to take control as we near the end of the match. Rhino, we talked about you being here for the tournament. We also had some other pro bowlers here in attendance. We had Wayne Webb, who was voted one of the top 50 bowlers of the last 50 years. He's a PBA Hall of Famer, as well as some PBA Senior Tour players, Bob Kelly and Alan Peters. And that just shows that how important this tournament is, that bowlers like that would be willing to come out and watch the tournament.
And it's great for the kids. I'm sure that encourages them a lot, and in a way it makes them feel like, oh my gosh, that pro bowler's here, and
they're here to see me.
Yeah, exactly. It's pretty neat, and it's great that others give back as well.
Tyler gets a huge break crossing over Brooklyn. Leaves him with a 4-bagger and 134 in the 7th frame. Jacob really needs to get on his horse here in the 9th.
And my good friend Rob Stone, the commentator, would be disappointed if I didn't say Hambo.
There you go, Rob.
So Rob, wherever you are,
back on track, sets up the foundation frame in the 9th.
And really, how this boils down is Jacob's going to need them all just to force Tyler to mark. Any miss right here, and the match will be Tyler's.
Jacob can strike out in the 10th to end with a 193, forcing Tyler to mark in the 10th.
And that was a great shot. Fell right off his hand. That was his most confident delivery, I think, of the game.
Looked like he was a little bit looser with the delivery, got the arm swing working, and the ball did its work down the lane.
Absolutely. And that's something that's so important when the lanes are tough. Your body wants to tense up because it feels like you don't have a lot of room for air, and you try to make every shot perfect. And that was a great example of what the pros like to do on these patterns. They try to find a way to just loosen up and let it go.
We'd like to thank Mike Irwin, the proprietor here at Capri Lanes, for hosting this tournament. Again, it's 30th year, and just getting bigger and better, and hope for better years to come.
And another
good
great
shot. He's definitely not handing the match over to Tyler. Going to make him show up in the 10th frame.
No, he's got to feel a little frustrated that he didn't get this going a little bit sooner in the game. But I've seen a lot of things happen in the bowling world. In fact, even to myself, getting a 4 count on TV when I need 9 spare. So anything's possible out here, and he knows that. And I'm sure having his father there, helping him all along as a youth bowler, he's probably learned this lesson a few times.
Jacob, being from New York, was part of a huge contingent. Our girls champion earlier, Nicole Parkhurst, was also from New York.
That's right. Oh, and that's a really crucial 7 count right there. That's going to hurt his count quite a bit.
Leaves him with a score of 190. So Tyler can get up with the first ball in the 10th and throw a 9 count to claim this year's championship.
Yeah, and how important was that 7 count there? If he strikes there, a 9 count makes him still spare.
And we've seen during these matches how many splits have been left, and
that's a great shot.
Yep.
That's
great taking
shot.
The bull by the horns for a championship, to step up in the 10th frame and throw a ball like that.
Absolutely. And that would be known as what we call on tour a parlay. Yeah, he got away with his last shot, and he parlayed that into a double. And really a 5-bagger.
Come on, ball.
He found something out there.
He really did. And
after starting out the first 5 frames with only 1 strike, he's thrown the last 6. So he must have learned something in those first few shots about the oil pattern and adjusted to it.
Absolutely, and he let it go. I mean, those last couple shots especially were so pure. He really stepped up. He was ready to win this title, and he knew. I bet he knew deep down inside he was going to have to bowl a big game to beat Jacob in this match, and he came prepared.
Congratulations to Tyler Vocks, our 2010 Junior Masters Boys Champion, as well as Jacob Kent, our runner-up in the Boys Division for the 2010 Junior Masters. We're here with Jacob Kent from Newark, New York. He's the 2010 Junior Masters Boys Division runner-up. Jacob, tell us how you felt out there this morning.
This morning I felt pretty good. I was throwing the ball really aggressive, kind of a little bit slower than I was throwing it on the TV pair here, and I felt really confident earlier this morning, and I got to this pair here and I felt like I was throwing it a little bit too fast and I just couldn't figure out a way to slow it down.
It seemed last night and this morning you had found a line that none of the other bowlers had found, and you're playing outside with a urethane ball, which is making its comeback in the industry, and you seem to have a line of your own out there. What were you seeing with the oil pattern, and how did you attack that?
Well, I felt like if I stayed pretty slow and up the back of the ball, I felt like I had a really big hold spot right about 6-7, and if I got it right, it felt like I had a lot of bounce, like I could get it back from anywhere, and I guess I took advantage of it.
You definitely lapped the field during qualifying, during match play, and I think a lot of people were thinking you were the favorite coming into this, but you see anything can happen in a one-game match. You came out and started off very strong the first 2 shots and looked to lose it a little bit, came in light and didn't get a break and left some splits. You actually converted 210 and then converted a washout, but it finally got to be too much towards the end. Was it something that changed out there on the lanes, or was it the shot, or what did you see?
In the second frame, I got really aggressive on it, and I pulled it in a little bit and threw it really fast, and I kind of just picked up my pace a little bit, and I just couldn't slow it down. Couldn't get my feet a little bit slower, and paid the price for it.
We talked about your dad and coach, PBA Hall of Famer Doug Kent, being here, and do you have a reputation to live up to, you feel, or how does he support you with your bowling?
Yeah, I feel like I do. I feel like I'm kind of held to a higher standard when I'm bowling in front of him, and he helps me a lot when I'm out in the lanes. Like, he doesn't talk to me after every shot or anything, but when I'm struggling, he'll give me a little bit of advice of what to do, but on the most part, I think through things a lot on my own. Your
stepmother, Chrissy Beamish Kent, who she bowled here with her sister Leslie here about 20 years ago, which shows a little bit of her age, but we won't talk about that. Give us an idea of the prestige of this tournament. It's been going on for 30 years. The scholarship money that's offered, we're giving away over $28,000 this year. There's not a lot of that you can find at youth tournaments around the country. So give us an idea how this compares to other youth tournaments that you've seen.
Well, I traveled to a lot of youth tournaments over the summer, and this is definitely one of the better ones I've traveled to in a while. I mean, looking at some of the people that have won it and people that have moved on, and there's a few people that have been out on tour, and just all the talent that has come out of, that has bowled this tournament is very incredible, and just the way the tournament is set up, I love bowling tournaments exactly like this.
With the competition that was here this weekend, as well as the oil pattern out there, we talked about it's definitely the cream that rises to the top after qualifying, and it shows that only the top bowlers in the country were here in match play. But you seemed to breeze through your matches earlier in the morning, and we talked about a lot of it had to do with getting out to a quick start. One game you had the front 8 on the way to a 300, and so it looked like you felt pretty comfortable out there.
Yeah, I found a line that not many people were able to play. It looked like I had something that a lot of people didn't, and just it felt like I was very confident and I could manipulate the ball to read the lane the right way where I was playing. And it looked like a lot of people had tried it earlier in the last night and early in the day yesterday, and it just looked like a lot of people weren't able to do it.
Well, I think you definitely showed that you are one of the better youth bowlers, and you can take that on to move on to the collegiate ranks and then the pro tour. And I think years from now, your dad may be looking up to you on the earnings list as far as the PBA tour.
Hopefully.
Again, congratulations. This weekend you'll earn a $1,500 scholarship as a runner-up. So I hope your trip from New York felt like it was worth it for the weekend.
Definitely.
Okay, congratulations, Jacob.
Thank you very much.
Thank you. Okay, we've got Tyler Vocks here from Taylorville, Illinois. He's a 2010 Boys Division Junior Masters champion. Tyler, give us an idea how you felt out there today.
I was pretty nervous, I'm not going to lie, especially after I missed that single pin. I thought I was in a little bit of trouble, but I put a string together and came back. But
we talked about the slow start you got off to in the match. You had 1 strike in the first 5 frames and then came on to throw a 6-bagger, I believe. You definitely found your comfort zone out there and found the line to the pocket and turned the match around.
Yeah, at the beginning my timing was just way off. I was way fast, and then I was pitching everything out. I kind of tried to slow myself down, try to concentrate a little bit more.
Part of this youth junior bowling experience that leads kids on to college, we saw that you're currently bowling for Lindenwood University. How's your college experience been?
It's a lot of fun. Shots are hard, that's for sure, but yeah, it's a lot of fun.
It's more of more teamwork in a college environment than it is an individual bowler, so it's nice to kind of get out here in a singles event and be able to cover for yourself as well.
Yeah, this is the start of individual season for me, so it's a good way to start.
Can you explain, with Storm Bowling Company being a sponsor this weekend and having Rhino Page out, what it meant to have bowlers like him who are currently out on the PBA tour here to help and ask questions for?
It was great, yeah. It was great to get some help from him, talk to him, see what life's on the tour is like. He really gave an insight of what the tour life's about. And a great guy, too.
It's kind of a grueling format, going through 6 games of qualifying on Saturday and then another 6 games of qualifying in the evening just to make it to match play to the top 16. And then you have to weave your way through matches to make it to the championship round. So it definitely shows how good a bowler you are compared to the youth bowlers around the country. What does this tournament experience mean for you?
Oh, it means a lot to me. Like I said, I hope it's just the start to the season because I got junior gold and everything coming up. But I knew if I came out here and bowled the best I could, I'd have a chance, so that's what I tried to do.
Not only as the champion, you receive a scholarship from Morehead State University, which you may not use since you'll be at Lindenwood. Morehead was offering $1,500 a year renewable for 4 years for $6,000 total.
My coach would like that too much.
And but you'll also receive a $3,000 scholarship as the boys champion that you'll be able to use at Lindenwood. So hopefully it makes it feel like it was worth your trip from Illinois to come here today.